Hey guys, welcome to Kurt's RPM Garage, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the status of my Ford F-150 Lightning Pro Standard Range. It's a 2023 model. If you haven't seen my previous video, go check that out. That kind of will get you up to speed on what's happening. I'll have that link below. But the long and the short of it is I had two battery module failures, one at about 12,000 miles and the second at 19,000 miles. And the truck was out of commission for 30 days the first time, about 10 days the second time. Both required a battery module swap. Once again, I'll just go over it. This isn't the whole battery that failed. It's just probably an individual cell in a bank of cells, which they call a module or an array. They call them either one. So I've had to have two of those replaced. I think there's like 6 or 7 in the truck, so not great so far. So I posted that video, kind of letting you guys know what was happening, kind of my thoughts on it, and then unbelievably, about 2 weeks later, another one failed. So that was 3 total have failed so far. And by this point, I was pretty fed up with it, unfortunately. So by this point, I was pretty disappointed with the truck, as I'm sure most people would be. However, I did learn a few things along the way. I spoke to my service advisor, and one thing we figured out was that none of the new arrays they installed, or new modules, I should say, had failed. It was all the modules from the original pack. So that was kind of good to hear. At least seemed like they were taking care of it when these new modules are hopefully better. Obviously, I didn't have as many miles on them or anything like that, but that was a good sign. But regardless, I still wanted to get this thing basically out of my hair. I was kind of done with just driving rentals here and there. That was just so annoying. But like I said, I reached out to the Ford's BEV team and started the buyback process. They're very helpful to get everything moving. It did still take probably 2 months to get everything approved and to get my offer and everything like that. But they did approve it. I was a little bit concerned as when the second module failed, I had about 19,500 miles on it. And because this took so long, the dealer actually fixed the truck in 2 weeks or so, and I had it back, and I was still driving it while I was waiting for this offer to come back. And so I was a bit over 20,000 miles at this point, and they approved it, like I said. And from there, I just had to wait for an offer to come back. And now with these buybacks, there is a mileage penalty. So they take whatever you paid for it and then subtract a certain dollar amount based on mileage. And I was a little bit concerned about that. I'm like, oh, geez, this could be pretty significant. However, when the offer actually came back, I learned the mileage is not based on what you have on the clock. It's actually based on when you first took your truck in for warranty work. I got quite lucky in the fact that I actually took my truck in almost immediately after buying it, just because the alignment was a little bit off, and I took it in and just had them tweak that just to make it so it drove perfectly straight, which maybe having that counted as warranty work. So they actually went off that, which more or less shocked me. So I'm not going to go into dollars and cents or anything like that, but I did get a much higher offer than I was expecting. They also do not take into account any rebates that you may have received from the government or the state or anything like that. So that's all completely given back to you. So the offer was fantastic. I wasn't 100% on taking it. I was like 75%, just in case the offer was really low. They also have an option where you can, they'll pay you a couple grand or something like that just to keep the truck and just to be like, hey, sorry about that. It's all good. But when I saw the offer to actually buy the truck, I said, see you later. You can keep it. Yeah, I basically approved it right away. And then they had to kind of do some more paperwork here and there. And then another week or two later, I actually turned the truck into them. So unfortunately, my 2023 F-150 Lightning Pro is no longer with us. It has been given back to Ford to do whatever they want with. So that's more or less where we're at. So after I turned the truck in, they handed me a check for whatever it was. I'm not going to go into that, like I said. But I do need a truck. I work in construction after all. Not having a truck is quite tricky. Even driving these loaners, they were quite a pain in the rear just because I'm constantly hauling equipment, moving stuff around, going into the dirt, trying to get to job sites, stuff like that. So pretty quickly, I found an amazing deal on a truck and I jumped on it. So let's take a look at it right now. And no, you're not seeing double. This is my new 2023 F-150 Lightning XLT Extended Range. Why did I get this? Well, this is a much later build. It was built at the end of 2023. and I actually got an absolutely incredible deal on it. There was a $7,500 from Ford, $7,500 from the federal government. I got a private offer from Ford for a couple thousand when they bought it back, and then the dealer actually took another $6,000 off. So it was an absolutely killer deal, and if I'm perfectly honest, I'm extremely happy. The Lightning is what I always wanted, and I'm gonna give this one another go. Fingers crossed everything works out. I think it will. I'm pretty confident in that. And yeah, that's exactly where we're at. So unfortunately, my pro content has to come to an end at this point, but that doesn't mean the content's going to end. I'm still going to be doing upgrades to this. I've already put in leather seats. I've got a video coming on that. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.